know half of this course, but in hindsight, it's just a couple more loops of everything. So we'll get used to that. I feel grateful that I've done the course in some capacity before. So now we just got to go out and put the full hat on, and knowing that it's definitely not going to be a half this year. So mentally, I know it's a full, so we're going there. Sure. Well, Gina is quite a good swimmer. I mean, we swam pretty much together in Kona. I might have nipped her barely, and she could have just played it coy and gone out right behind me. So I assume, we'll see when we get there, but I love swimming with Gina, and I would love to swim with her here. And while it would be great to get out, you know, even 30 seconds ahead, that would be lovely, but we'll see how it goes on Saturday. But, and then, you know, a lot has to happen on the bike, 112 miles to try to build as much time as you have on the field, best you can muster. And then, as we do in Ironman, hang on for dear life on that run. The bike it's funny because I love hills probably as much as Gina does, and when we both did St. George one year, we love that course. It's up and down and all around, but mostly up. And so this is definitely a power central course in terms of, yeah, we can hit power going up hills, but we obviously, this is not a flat course in terms of there are some, you know, false flats here, a couple hills, and so it's a power course too. You just don't get the downhill. That's the downside of this course. It's like you have these little uphills, and then they just flatten up and flatten out. So it's who can sit in arrow and be comfortable, sort of very comfortable being uncomfortable in that positioning for that amount of time. And the chip still is definitely new for me. I experienced it last year, only one loop, but it's different terrain, and it's precisely why this fast would be really fast if it didn't have that a little bit chip seal terrain underneath. But either way, it's beautiful out there. We just got to do 2 laps and call it a day there before the marathon. I try not to have A, B sort of races, because every time I toe the line, I want to give 110%. And if one goes poorly, it's always nice because you have backup. But in all kidding aside, it's just oftentimes I think my body uses one as a warm-up, and then any time I've done the dirty double, I've done it a couple times, but only 2 weeks apart. So this is new that it's 3 weeks apart, which could kick me in the butt because sometimes I feel the effects of the first one 3 weeks after. But we're going to go with it. Hopefully, I know with Matt, we'll fine-tune, we'll recover properly from this, fine-tune, and really build into Melbourne, which obviously is a huge international race. So I would love to perform well, the best I can at both. Gosh, I know it's a small field, but there's some like big punches in the field. Carrie Lester and Candace Hammond are obviously phenomenal athletes, as well as Gina. So it could be anyone's game, anyone's win. It's always in the sport to expect the unexpected in terms of the stars kind of have to align. Every single one of us is going to have problems out there in some capacity. It's always in pockets, and then it's like who can troubleshoot best and who's the better, who comes out the better athlete on the day. And it doesn't mean you're the fitter one or the smartest one. It just means you had the better day.